we need to go through and start cleaning up our edit. If you notice, when we come from this shot, he's actually stopping his walk. When we come to this shot, he's starting his walk again, or he's walking in. Now if I grab the edge of this clip and drag this back to get it to where he's still just walking in, I end up leaving a gap right here. I could go through and select all this, bring it back, and butt it back up, but that becomes very time consuming. Some tools that are very useful are going to be your ripple tool, your roll, your slip, and your slide. With the roll tool selected, or the ripple tool selected, what we'll do is we can grab our edge, either of the outgoing clip or the incoming clip. Now we want to find an area where he's still walking, grab our edge, and bring this back. And as you can see, that automatically pulls everything with it. So we don't have to go through and reselect all those clips and drag it back over. Now we want to do the same for this shot. Sometimes you have to click off and get back in really close on your timeline. And now we'll start to roll this or ripple this to where he's just starting to come in. And we may want to roll this one back a little bit more, just so we have a little bit more of a walk sequence. Now he comes in and stops, and then walks off. But the next shot that we have is a close-up of him just stepping into his spot. So what we'll want to do is right after he steps in, maybe about right here, as he's taking that step in, we're going to cut this clip. You could use your blade tool, but with your playhead right where you want it, you can hit Command K. And as you can see, that made a cut right where we want that. Now we want to bring this clip over in between this edit that we just made. If we bring this over, all we're going to do is overwrite the clip that we have. We don't want that to happen. What we want to do is what is called a swap edit. So with a swap edit, we're going to actually take this and move this over, and this will move out of the way and replace where this once was. To do the swap edit, you're going to hold down Alt and Command, and as we drag, you'll see that we get this icon that shows that we're in a swap edit mode. And as you can see, we now have him walking in, the close-up of him walking in, and then back to him walking out. Now the way this scene is supposed to go is he steps in, and we're going to see a reaction from the other two people. So again, we're going to have to cut this clip. So Command K to cut, and we're going to bring this shot over. Again, Option Command or Alt Command, and drag this over to where we just made our cut. Again, we're going to want to go through and clean up this edit. We don't need all this extra hanging on at the beginning. So we'll use our ripple edit tool. And we'll slide this back. And we'll just use the spot where he's stepping in. Now we'll have that. And we cut to this guy's reaction. Now, I probably want to use maybe right here where he lifts his head. So I'll just take the ripple tool, slide that back. He steps in, we get his reaction. Now he starts to talk to this other character. And at this point he says, "Oh, did you see this guy?" Or, whatever. So we want to bring in this guy's reaction now. So we'll start probably about right here. Ripple this back. And we don't want to use the whole thing. We just want to get that selection, or just that area where he sees the new character. So we're going to come over here. He's talking. We'll use our selection tool and just take this clip and bring it up and place it on track 2. Now, as he finishes saying what he's talking about, we want to bring this guy back in because he gives him a little warning about who this character is. So we will use the Option command and we'll bring this clip over to here. And actually, because of my selection, I did this backwards. This is the clip we want to use up here. Now this clip is the one that we want for the warning shot. So we're going to take this, roll this back, and we will take this shot and move this right before back to the other guy's close-up. We'll stop it about right there. And we're going to use our roll tool to slide this back. Now, as you notice, this clip is very long. It's a very long shot of him looking. So we're going to have to ripple this back till just get enough of a kind of that smirk that he's given the people he's looking at, and then him to walk out of scene. So with the ripple tool, we'll just slide this back. And then again, we have this area here where we have to wait for him to kind of start to take his step. We'll ripple this. And we probably just want to tweak this a little bit more. Tweak this one back a little bit. I'm going to turn snapping off. Try to get it about right there. And just a little bit further. So now we have, and again, this shot's really long, so we can grab this edge, kind of just get this to where it's walking. So now we have our rough assembly. Actually, it's a little bit more of a rough cut than just an assembly at this stage. The next tool is your roll tool. This really helps you fine-tune that edit. We've already set up what we feel is a comfortable position for the edit to kind of come in. The action matches on both scenes. But now what we want to do is maybe figure out a better spot for the edit. What your roll tool will do is it'll allow us to move this back and forth and see where we actually want to start using our edit. Maybe it, right now we have it to where we just see him coming around the corner. Maybe we want him already around the corner. So what this is doing is it's changing both the out point of the outgoing clip and the in point of the incoming clip at the same time, so we can just change where that edit point happens. Maybe we want this a little bit further back, but we've already established where our action is. So now we can just kind of fine-tune this area that we want. And again, we can do the same with this. Maybe we want this just a hair back. As you can see, he's kind of coming forward in both, so maybe about right here will work. We'll play through that, and that's actually a little bit of a stutter in there. So let's get a little bit more movement in the front half. That feels a little bit better. Now this may be a little bit quick on the reaction, so I'm going to ripple this back this way, just so we get a little bit of reaction before, a little bit of recognition before the reaction. Now, we're happy, or I'm happy with the way that the duration of this clip. But I'm not really happy with the in and out points that I selected. I want to kind of move them a little bit in each direction. But I still want to keep the duration. So if we use the slip tool, what this will do is it'll keep the same duration. It'll keep this endpoint and this out point right where it's at. But we're going to slip the film in between our in and out point areas. So that way our duration is exactly the same, but we've changed where it starts and where it ends. Now what the slide tool will do for us is this allows us to, again, we're not adjusting the clip that we select. We're adjusting the out point of the outgoing clip and the in point of the incoming clip. So we're not overwriting anything, we're just changing where those edit points are. So again, I can just kind of take this, move this back a little bit. Now, as you can see, if I were to go through and do all this with just our normal selection tool and try to manipulate this edge, bring everything back, it would take a lot more work than just going through what we just did. Next thing is what's called a 3-point edit. What a 3-point edit is you're setting up in and out points on your timeline and using those to determine what footage or the amount of time that the footage that you're using from your clip in the viewer. So if I come onto my timeline and I hit I to set an endpoint, and I'm just going to come past this edit a little bit and hit O, and let's say I want to use maybe this guy talking just a little bit before he sees what's going on. So what I'll do is I'll set an endpoint. With the in and out point selected here, I want to target this track. So I'm going to bring this track up, our toggle track selection. I'm going to make sure we're actually on that track. As you can see, this is where the in and out points are selected. That's highlighted. Now I'm just going to overwrite this onto that track. So I'll hit period key. As you can see, that set up my in and out points. If I double click this, you can see where in this area that I actually used. And again, if I want this to fit, I'll just go up to Clip, Video Options, Scale to Frame Size. Another quick thing you can do, if you're doing a music video or maybe a music montage in an area of your video, we can do a very quick edit just to the beat of the music and then go back and replace that footage later with the footage we actually intend to use. What you can do is you can do a new item and we can just do black video. Yes, we want this to fit to our timeline. So now we have this black video clip, and we'll put this onto video 1. And we'll just take this and extend this to the end of our music. So we have our music and our black video. You want to make sure that the music is locked before you do this, otherwise you'll end up cutting through the music too. Now what we'll do is we'll just play this song and we will cut to the beat of the song by hitting Command K. Now as you can see, I have a bunch of little cuts that go with my beat. What I can do now is come through and find some of my footage. I'll set this up. And I'll select my first clip, right click on it, and replace clip from source monitor. And now that gave me the in and out points of the clip that I selected down here with the starting endpoint from here. And it automatically stopped it when it needed to. Again, I'll find another clip, right click on this, replace from source monitor. Let's find another shot. This guy's always fun. So I'll set up an endpoint, select this, right click on it, replace with clip from source, and now we have the start of our edit to the music. And again, I can kind of keep going through with this. Until we're have that all